Hello guys, welcome to today's segment on Generation XYZ. This is your host Eboti Belisha. Today we'll be laying emphasis on the need to instill values early on and also deliberating on the topic that it is so amazing how we have right to choices. We know the right thing to do and yet we are doing a different thing. So let's hear from our guests on the norms of instilling values and making use of it right on time. With me we have Victoria Ajide, Abdulatif and Peace Nwadike. Thank you for joining us today.
What I understand by instilling values on people is when there are certain things, there's a certain rules of how you live and how you arrange yourself, how you are as a human being. And instilling it is what the parents do. Making that thing your daily mantra, making it your daily arrangement of how you are, like how you are built as a person, the norms of a person, the rules, the rights and wrongs of a person. That is what I believe instilling values has to do with.
Talking on values is very important, and it is the duty, or let me say, the responsibility of a parent to like instill it, to pass it on them, on their children.
It's the duty of a parent to instill the right values on a child so that the child does not come out to the society and misbehave or do things out of character or act out of character.
So we've got to hear their own perspective about instilling values as young people. So to these values, at what age do you think it's right for you to start applying these values? In the sense that in this generation where we are today, we meet people with different perspective and narrative about we, the young people. So what can you do in this kind of situation?
When you talk about instilling values on the younger ones, or what time, or what's the starting point for instilling values, I feel it's as early as they are born. Yeah, it might sound weird that you're instilling value on newborns, but it's whatever you use and start train your children. That is how they're going to turn up. You can start with easy manners of, when you eat finish, when you're done eating, you clear up, you take your plates and cups and stuffs to the kitchen, you clean up wherever you finish eating. Or in the case of when you're about to go to bed, you brush your teeth, you take your bath, you wear your pajamas and you go to bed. You have a time for everything.
Like she said, you have to start immediately when the child was born. You have to instill some certain values on him or her. Like, you must make sure to respect an elderly person, teach the child how to greet. When you see an elderly person, you make sure you greet them. You must be humble. You must be humble. You must be respectful.
Because a lot of young people do not understand the importance of spending quality time with their family. And some always see or come up with excuses on why they shouldn't spend time with their family. But these are things that should have been taught from young, that they are important. So there are other values that should also be instilled on young minds. Respect is not about you respecting someone because of what you get, but you respecting them because they are a person. So you respect another person because they are a person too. So these are things you should instill on your child.
So we have core values. I don't know if you people have an idea. We have personal core values, which include respect, as you have said. Personal core values are ethics or ideas that guide us through decision making. So these values, we have knowledge, we have leadership, we have communication, authenticity, integrity, and the rest of it. I understand that because whenever I'm talking, I always like to make an example that we are in this generation where we meet people, we go out, we meet people every day. Sometimes we get to a point where we don't even make use of these values because people trigger you. It's not like this is not who you are. You talked about respect, you made mention of respect. Everybody was brought up in a very respectful home. Let me say 80% of us were brought up in a very respectful home. But what if in a situation where you meet people who trigger this part of you? Would you still have that knowledge to make application of your core value?
When someone to trigger you to be irrespectful, now the first thing you have to do is to be patient with that person. You have to calm down and don't let that person's behavior, don't let it trigger you. You have to maintain your composure, calm down, take a deep breath, then move away from that person.
I'm going to give you one tip that you should do. It's a mantra. that I try to practice. I know I don't go by it like anymore, but I've tried to just practice it. You just say, be calm, be calm, be confident, be confident. Nobody pass you, nobody pass you. Now you and God, now you and God. When you say that like 2 or 3 times, as a child from a respectable home,
Yes.
don't allow stuff like that to trigger you. That's why we have things like composure now. That's why we have steals. That's why we have aura. That's where words like that come in.
Yes.
That's to show you that you don't care and you will not divulge into such a situation, into such a thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? And another thing you do is that try to not be judgmental, because most people that just come and showcase violence early Monday or Tuesday morning are people that probably have issues. Do you understand? They have family issues and stuff that are disturbing them. So in my situation, that's what I would do.
To be sincere, you cannot take back words you've said to a person. You can only apologize to them. And most of the words you might say in the moment or in the spur of anger cannot be taken back. So you have to know how to take yourself out of a situation or a position that is triggering, that triggers your emotions or triggers anger in you. So when you're being met with that kind of thing, like my co-host said, show compassion, show patience, be understanding. You have to be able to understand that, oh, I don't know what this person is going through. I don't know why they lashed out at me. And it's not your fault. Don't try to blame yourself. There are 2 things: you respecting a person and being timid. It's not your fault. Nobody has the right to lash out at you or act any way. It's the only thing you can do is to control your emotions.
Thank you. We've come to the end of today's segment, and I hope that we've been able to educate you to some points on how to instill values and be who you are. In the world where everybody wears a mask, you just have to be who you are. So always do your best, always live your truth, and be the best of you. Join us on the next segment, and do well to follow us on all social media platforms at Generation XYZ. Thank you.